Hey guys, welcome back. We are starting lesson 3.3 in the book that starts on page 123. We're going to go through the truth tables this time. Remember, a statement is something that is either true or false, but not both at the same time. So we're going to decide, how do you tell if a statement is true and if one is false, and then if we put those together, how do we tell if the whole sentence is true or is the whole sentence false? And so today we're going to go through and just talk about the negation, the conjunctions, and the disjunctions. And we're going to look at those and decide whether they are true or false. And then when we put them together, how that outcome happens, or what happens with the outcome. Okay, so a truth table helps to organize given information and makes logical decisions about statements. And so it's really an organizational look that helps us figure these things out. And so the first part of this is, the negation of these things. And so remember, the negation assigns the opposite truth value. So the way that we start these every time is the statement, whatever you're given, is either true or false. So it's one or the other. And so simply put, if we negate the statement P and it was true, now it's going to be false. And if we negate the statement P and it was false, now the statement is going to be true. So anytime you have the negation of whatever, a statement or a group of these things, you're just simply going to put the opposite of whatever it was. Okay. The conjunction rule says the conjunction is true only when both statements are true. And so here we have, now our table looks a little bit bigger, and this is the way it always starts because, again, a statement is either true or false, but look at these different combinations that we have. P can be true, Q can be true, P can be true, or Q can be false. So that's a combination. P can be false while Q is true, or P can be false while Q is false. And so if you look at each one of these are all four different outcomes. Make no mistake, these two, just because one of the statements is true and one of the statements is false, they're not the same, because this one says P is true, P is false. And so when you look at these, they're all different, four different combinations. So this is the way that you always start the setup of your truth table. P, true, true, false, false. And Q will say true, false, true, false. All right, now back to this. The conjunction is true only when both statements are true. So as we look down through here, true, true. That means that when I put P and Q together, it's a true outcome. So I'm looking for this. True, true, nope. True, true, nope. True, true, nope. So if I don't have this rule followed anymore, that means everything else is going to be false. Okay? All right, so those are our conjunctions. And then our next one is a disjunction. And the disjunction is false only when both statements are false. So see here again, we have this same setup. P, Q, true, true, false, false. Q, true, false, true, false. Every time, that's the same setup. This time we have the or symbol, or the disjunction symbol. So we're looking to follow this rule. We're looking for both statements to be false. False, false, nope. False, false, nope. False, false, nope. False, false, yes. But when they're both false, look, the answer is false. So that's the only one that says false. What does that mean about the rest of these? That means they're going to be true. Now, if you think about what an and statement means, remember and both at the same time. So they both have to be true. If you think about what the or statement means, it could mean one or the other or both, and that would make it okay to go. We've talked about that in multiple different ways, so think about those words as you see them. All right, so let's construct one. This is example 3. Now this is in your notes if you got to download your notes. Otherwise, you're just going along with me, and you can draw these tables, so pause the video as needed. So if you are looking in the book, example 3 starts on page 128 and then goes from there. So notice here, well, our beginning still has a P and a Q, so true, true, false, false, and then Q, true, false, true, false. But here we have two different things. Remember the rule about that negation symbol on the outside of a group? We do not distribute it, so we're going to save it for the end. And just like in the order of operations, we have to do what's inside the parentheses and get an answer, and then move to outside the parentheses, okay? So our first thing, we're going to set up 2 different columns so that we don't have to try to think about the whole thing at one time. We're breaking it into smaller parts. So our first part is what was in the parentheses, P and Q. So the rule to P and Q was 2 trues make a true. So 2 trues make true. 2 trues, nope. 2 trues, nope. 2 trues, nope. So what does that make everything else? Everything else will be false. Okay? Now, looking from this column to this column, the only thing I've added is the negation symbol. So that means I want to negate this. Well, negation means opposite. So if it was true, now it's false. And if it was false, now it is true. Okay? And so if I were to put words into these statements, I would have to decide, is the P part of the statement true or false? Is the Q part of the statement true or false? And then I find which one of those things happens and follow it all the way over. And that will tell me whether this is an actual whole true statement or a whole false statement. That's what we're doing. Okay. Here is example 4. It actually starts at the bottom of 129 but continues on to 130. So this one says P, Q, again, just like normal, true, true, false, false, true, false, true, false. But here, notice in our original statement, it has the negation of just P, the negation of just a Q, and an or symbol. So what I need to do is, again, simple. I want to negate the P. I want to negate the Q, and then I want to put them together with an or statement. So those are my 3 separate columns in my table. Negation of P is going to be opposite P. Negation of Q is going to be opposite Q. So as we fill those in, look at what we've done. And so when you look at this, here is P, and here are the opposites of those. And here is Q, and here is the opposite of those. So that's where all of that came from, okay? And then we want to put those together with the or symbol, but we're not using back to the original P and Q. This time, we're using these 2 columns. So we only can do 2 columns at a time, and we want the or. So the or set says false or false. 2 falses make a false. So we go and look, 2 falses make false. 2 falses, nope. Two falses, nope. Two falses, nope. And therefore, the rest of these statements will be true statements. Okay? All right, the next one here is on page 135. And these are a couple that you're going to start from your book. So if you are at home, go ahead and pause this, get out a blank sheet of paper, and you can start these from page 135 because this is going to be part of your bookwork assignment. So this one says, to pee or not to pee? That is the question. Okay. Now look, it's only a single letter P. So my table is just one statement with a one true, one false. It's not as long because I don't have two different statements. So P is either true. When I turn it to the negation of that, then this one will become false. And this one will become true. And then when I put those together with the or symbol, remember it's false or false, make false. False, false, nope. False, false, nope. So I don't have that, which means both of those statements, P or not P, those will be true statements. All right, here's another one from your assignment that you're going to get. Again, it's just a single letter P and not to P. Can you P and not P at the same time? I don't know. Let's find out. So P is either true or false. When I negate it, false and true. And now what's the rule for and? Go back to your notes. True and true make true. True and true? No. True and true? No. Therefore, these answers will be false. So you cannot P and not P at the same time. All right. Let's try one more. Number 19. Again, this is another one that's going to be on your bookwork assignment. Now we have a P and a Q. So my table has become larger. True, true, false, false. Q is going to be true or false, true or false. And this time, when I look at the original, I only have the negation of P. So P column is the only one that I have to negate using this first column. So true, true, false, false is going to become false, false, true, true. Now I'm going to put together negation of P, which is this column, and Q, which is this column. So I don't even have to look at this stuff anymore. I'm only looking here and here. And means that they're both true at the same time. True, true? No. True, true? No. True, true? Yes. So that one's true. Keep going. True, true? No. So I found one that is going to be true, and the rest of them, that means will be false. And that's how I fill in the table. Okay, so really what you are going to be looking at is the rules for the negation, conjunction, and disjunction so that you can make these tables. And then we will start putting words into what is P actually talking about, what is Q actually talking about, and then how do we put those together. All right, so your assignment for today is going to be page 135, 13 through 20. We just did 3 of those together, so this isn't probably going to take you very long. And then when you check that, we're going to add on to it tomorrow when we do the conditional statements and the biconditional statements with what their rules for the truth tables are going to be. All right, have a good day.